Success. What is it? Hello, my name is John Giannis Jr. Today, we are going to take a look into TED Talk Analysis Week 2. I have chosen 3 TED Talk speakers: Susan Lewis's Embrace the Near Win, Elizabeth Gilbert's Success, Failure, and the Drive to Keep Creating, and finally, Angela Lee Duckworth's The Key to Success, Grit. How do you view success, or have you mastered it? Susan starts out with a story about an artist, how she paints a painting and decides that it does not meet her mark. So she takes it into the garbage outside of her studio. Her neighbor loved the painting, sees its value and its beauty, so she takes it home. She puts a lot of emotion into her story, telling yet more stories. She talks about success is of the moment. Everything we do is a moment of success. This is what brings me to the brink of tears. She goes on to say that mastery is something that can be done over and over with accuracy. As she tells another story about female archers that spend 3 hours trying to hit the 10 ring, every time from a distance of 75 yards, with 75 pounds of pull on the bow. From hitting the 7 ring, to the 9 ring, to totally missing the target. We call this the near win. Have you ever heard or had a near win? We tend to celebrate the mastery, not the success. Mastery is about the end, but yet there is no end. Mastery is completing something, with no end in sight. Elizabeth Gilbert starts out with a story where she is at an airport talking in an accented voice of a woman who says to her that are you that eat, pray, love thing? The audience laughed at her story, and she goes on to explain that no matter what we do in life, whether we succeed or we fail, we need to have the drive to continue and to keep creating, and that the subconscious mind does not know the difference between success and failure. All it knows is the emotion that's involved. Angela Lee Duckworth also starts out with a story about how her life, she went from a very demanding job of a managing consultant to a more demanding job of a 7th grade math teacher. She realizes that her smartest students aren't doing so well. So she decides to go and get her master's degree in psychology. She visits different situations to try to predict the students who will graduate. What is grit? Grit is defined as a motivation to continue after failure, and that failure is not an option. She explains that growth mindset is what she says is the best way to teach grit, to make our kids more grittier. All 3 presenters were very powerful, and as they talked, and you sit at the edge of your seat wanting to know more, what was going to be said next, moving on to the fact that they talk about topics all related to success. All the presenters, all were very authentic, and they showed a lot of passion and lots of emotion with facial expressions and hand gestures. They did not use any props or slides, just the motivation that they believe in so much. The star moment for me is when Susan says how they need to embrace the near win. Elizabeth talks about the subconscious mind, knowing only the emotion of the moment. And finally, how Angela says, let's make our kids more gritty.